Hi, I'm Bob Vila. Welcome home again to our last visit here at the Low Country Style House in Ion, the beautiful neighborhood in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Interior designer Carolyn Griffith will show us the furnished living room, dining room, family room, master bedroom, and limestone tiled bath. Also, we'll see the finished porches and landscape, and we'll talk with architect Andres Duaney about his lifespan design. Stick around. It's good to have you home again. Construction noise is ever present here at Ion, where we have about 3 or 4 houses a week that they're breaking ground on. Our house, it's been a little over 7 months since we began construction, and today, as you can see, everything's completed, from the chimney pots, windows, shutters, and all the detailing. The landscaping is in place. We're going to say hi to Kevin Kalman over here and take a closer look. The fence looks good.
We got it up, Bob.
Yeah. Now, this plant material that's been put up here along the side of the house, what is it? Is it going to be a tree?
They're a variation of a magnolia. They will grow about 18 feet tall, big and bushy.
That's interesting. Because of the density here, it'll be good to have that kind of bushy barrier from this facade of the house.
It's a good screening, and the green against the white really plays off each other.
Yeah, yeah. And now look at what's happened up here. We've got our beautiful mahogany deck with furniture that looks, for all the world, like it ought to be inside the house, but I guess this is that planter's style.
It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. Thomasville Hemingway collection. Beautiful stuff.
So this can be out under the front porch.
That's correct.
Yeah. And the lanterns are all in place. They look very pretty. And I never really have been involved in building a house where you had overhead fans on the front porch.
It's a good thing here just to get the circulation of the air moving.
Right. So this is one of 3 wraparound porches on the house.
All have the same detailing.
Yeah.
Same materials.
I love the shutters from Withers, these beautiful, big, genuine shutters, which, in fact, if you have a storm, you do have the capability of shutting them up to protect the French doors.
That's correct.
All right. Well, I know you got little details to accomplish around the side. I'm going to go in and say hi to Carolyn.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Charleston interior designer Carolyn Griffith has done all the rooms in the house, which is a big house, right?
Yes, yes.
So I can't wait to see everything, but this is a pretty stunning piece of furniture in the front hall.
Thank you. I wanted to use this. It's a Charleston piece. It's circa 1790.
I love that.
It's string inlay, mahogany.
Can I open it?
Yes, of course.
Oh, it's a desk.
It's a butler's desk.
Ah, look at that.
And we have the green felt coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's been restored.
Beautiful. So you're making a statement right as you come into the house that it's a refined collection of furniture in here.
Yes, elegant.
And Charleston.
Yes.
Whoa, this is great.
Thank
now,
you.
I was wondering what you were going to do about the mantelpiece, because it's a very bold statement in a room like this. It's not a huge room.
Well, the ceilings are tall. They're 10 feet tall. They're gracious, and this Rumford fireplace could carry in this house.
Right.
And the builder wanted to put this in. And
what about the cornices throughout the room?
Kevin and I wanted to add the crown molding to give the house a plantation feel. We wanted it to be understated, beautiful, elegant.
But what's really unique is this southern pine that has such a strong grain pattern.
Reclaimed heart pine.
Yeah. And when you have it around the whole room, it really does something special.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
It is. Now, and this is awfully nice. I mean, it's nothing like having magnolia greens.
I know.
Because a big fireplace like this, often when you don't have a fire going in the summer, it's just nice to have that going for you in there.
Greenery goes a long way.
Yeah. Tell me about that. That's a gorgeous secretary.
This is a butler's desk with bookshelf or plantation desk.
Okay.
And it's circa 1820. We would like to think it's Charleston. It's probably New York. I love the way the drawers play off the mantel, the reclaimed pine.
The maple drawers inside. Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
So
gorgeous.
that's a happy coincidence or something you planned?
It's a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Yeah. I like mixing stuff. Here you've got a Chippendale chair next to an American desk.
Yes.
And throughout the room there are other touches, too numerous to mention, but I got to talk about these golden lamps. Tell me about those.
I found, in the Artisan District in Florence, I found a little shop that sells the lamps. And I brought them back, and down the street there's a wonderful Italian man who makes these lampshades for me. They're parchment. And they're unusual, and
they are, and they just do the job. They block the glare,
yes,
and cover the ugly bulb.
Yes.
And then the bases are all just gilded wood.
Yes.
Very pretty. Now, I know that all the upholstered furniture in here is from Thomasville, right?
Correct.
And I believe Guy Walters is in the dining room ready to meet us.
Great.
Come on.
Okay.
Don't you think the layout here is clever, though? Because you've got all this transition space between the living room and the dining room, a nice broad hall, a back hall closet. And how do you like this Kohler vanity with that beautiful antique look to the cabinet?
It's very nice.
It is, isn't
yes.
it? I like the celadon.
I do
the
too.
Green color. Wow. Now this, I know it's new furniture, but this, for the life of me, it all looks like Southern antiques. This is an antique.
This is a French Empire piece with ormolu mounts, and I added some artwork that's original.
The paintings look like Hudson River School luminous pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're lovely.
I must make a comment about the floral arrangements. I've never seen kiwis used quite this way.
Sally Wallace helped us with the floral arrangements. She's great.
Yeah. And tell me about the table arrangement. The china looks very unusual.
The china is by a Charleston-based artist, Kim Morgan. It's called Figaro, and we thought it fit the house.
It does, yeah.
The color's great.
Now, the dining table and the chairs and the sideboard. Well, Guy, this is pretty substantial furniture you've got here. Tell me a little bit about the style of this sideboard. To me, it looks a little bit Southern, but I don't know exactly what you'd call it.
Well, actually, it's British West Indies. It's from the Ernest Hemingway collection, which is Thomasville's most popular collection right now.
And you've named it after Hemingway because he lived in the islands for so many years.
What we did, we used Hemingway as influence, and we went around the world, actually, because he lived in so many fabulous places, from Havana to Key West to Paris, and we've used that as inspiration to design collections around that.
Yeah, and haven't they made a great presentation?
Yes, they
there?
have. It's wonderful.
The mirror and all these cattails.
It really sets off the sideboard really well.
Tell us about the carving, because you've got an apron there, and then all the splats on the back of the chairs are beautiful carvings. Is it all done by hand?
Well, actually, what we do here is we have three in-house carvers who will work with the designers on the design, and they actually hand carve the first piece.
So it's, you mean they're making a model?
They're making a model, and when we approve the model from a design standpoint, the model then is taken and used in a machine that actually is a robot, and it reads all of the measurements of the carving itself, and then it reproduces that a number of times.
And then the robotic machine is actually, it's got knives on it.
Yeah, the machine itself holds about 9 pieces at a time. These pieces of blank wood are put into the machine. It has 9 cutter heads. It will reach up, grab a different cutter head, spin around, and then after reading the digitization of the machine, it goes in there and carves it.
Lickety-split. Well, the nice thing about it is that it makes it all affordable for people to have the look of hand-carved furniture.
Yeah, but the great thing about it is it's all solid wood and heirloom quality.
Terrific. Thanks. Learn more about Charleston-style interiors at bobvila.com. So the kitchen is open onto the family room.
Yes.
And just because it's a family room doesn't mean that it has to be really informal. I mean, this is quite a nice antique you got in here.
This is a beautiful period English Chippendale chest on chest with original brasses, and I think it again sets the tone for refinement. We've got a nice big leather sofa, and
I like the idea of placing the chest here, having a little bit of space that you can walk in between the two.
Yes.
You're kind of creating a lot of interest in here. But I'll tell you what really catches my eye are these chairs with the red covers. They're antique as well, right?
They are. They're from Golden and Associate. Andy Golden has graciously loaned us all of the antiques in the house.
And he, of course, has a shop on King Street where all the great antiques dealers are located here in Charleston.
Exactly. There are lots of great finds and dealers.
It's a good place to go peeking, yeah. But, you know, pairing it with a contemporary couch.
Yes.
And, this is antique as well, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, it's nice. You've got the mixture of antique pieces and modern pieces, but where do you get all the little tchotchkes, all the accessories, like baskets on top of the chest?
A lot of the accessories in the house came from Britons of Charleston. Because the house was so large, I went on the internet and found cbuy.com. For example, the baskets, the lamp, and the decanters came from there.
And then I noticed up on top here that you've got a selection of this famous What's it called?
Sweetgrass baskets.
Sweetgrass
yes.
baskets, yeah.
They're
That's
lovely.
just terrific.
They're lovely. And again, Sally helped us up there with the flowers, with the dried hydrangeas.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we have to have the electronic hearth, and we've got a Panasonic DVD player, which meets Energy Star standards, so we're up to date in that respect.
Yes.
Very nice. Let's take a look in the master bedroom.
Okay.
Well, this is very appropriate. It's very sedate, but again, the scale is huge, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I think this room lends itself nicely to this Thomasville collection.
This is, again, the design with the, this is like the palm frond and the coconut frond intertwined, and it's all the islands kind of idea, but the scale of it is very large.
Yes.
And you've chosen things like oversized lamps, right?
From cbuy.com. They came in handy.
Now tell me something about your choice of linens for the bed.
Well, Palais Royal, which is now known as Yves Delorme, they have a store in Charleston, and they helped me with the beds.
Yeah, now the choices here, though, everything's very muted. It blends in with
Very
the color on the
calm,
walls.
Very calm and soothing.
So you're not trying to pull any tricks or make
Conducive
any...
to quiet.
Yes, I like that. I like that. And in the bathroom, the theme kind of continues through with the Mexican limestone tiles and the Kohler fixtures in this beautiful color. It's called sandbar. And the limestone tiles continue in the shower and around the lavatories. I really like the black Venetian pattern on the accent tiles. They complement this beautiful granite countertop perfectly. Very nice. Coming up next, we'll visit the workshop of Charleston lamp maker John Gant. Stick around. Well, out here we've got another one of these wonderful porches, and this one really is the more private space, right off the family room, right off the master bedroom. Again, a nice vignette, a place to sit down and have a cup of coffee. And what I love about this side of the house is the landscaping. They've actually put a very bold statement here, a dozen crepe myrtle bushes. These will grow to be twice as tall as they are now, so you can just imagine what a wonderful effect this is going to have someday. Now, Kevin, what are you doing up there?
The last light bulb, Bob.
Yeah. Those are beautiful little lanterns.
They are. There's so many craftsmen still available in Charleston.
Yeah, these are made in the workshops of John Gant, and we just paid him a visit to see how they're made. These hanging lanterns are actually handmade right here in Charleston in the workshops of John Gant. He's been making lanterns for about 30 years, and recently he started specializing in custom work. Nothing is prefabricated. Each lantern starts out as hand-cut pieces of sheet copper that are cut to Mr. Gant's pattern and bent into shape on a device called a brake. They're trimmed to size, then clamped and soldered together to form the cage of the lantern. The top of the cage is really more ornamental these days, since lighting is electrical and not gas or candles. There's not as much heat that needs to escape. Even the hinges are handmade, and the lanterns get panes of a special antique reproduction glass that really makes them look authentically old. Okay, now in the backyard, besides having this porch, we've also got kind of like a private patio here with a very unusual feature for the South. It's an outside fireplace. And this is made by...
Martin.
Martin, yeah. It's all stainless steel, right?
That's correct. Stainless steel box, stainless steel chainmail.
And then you just framed up the enclosure.
It's just a regular framed enclosure with stucco.
It's the right shape, though. It's got the right kind of shape for this part of the country, it seems to me.
Thank you.
And then when you come back behind it, eventually you're creating another outdoor space.
That's correct.
Yeah.
All these little hedge plants that you see along the perimeter will grow up into about a 6-foot hedge.
So this will be a very formal clipped hedge.
That's correct.
Along the edges.
Yes.
And then, of course, through the beautiful crepe myrtles, we've got the one part of the house that we haven't seen, which is called the Colonel. And let's go in there and speak with the architect, Andres Duaney. When we come back, architect Andres Duaney talks about his lifespan home design. Okay, we're going through the pantry area on our way to the other part of the house that could be like an apartment. And if you were to do that, you'd shut this opening down and you could turn this into a bona fide kitchen. But right now it's set up as a pantry. And what I like best, I think, is the countertop material, which is a product called Fire Slate. It's made by a company up in Lewiston, Maine. And many of you probably have encountered it in chemistry labs in high school or college. But the other things that worked out well to kind of get that flavor of a pantry are the cabinets. The cabinets are from Decora, and we chose the ones with the, you know, the glass fronts so that it has that feel. And my personal favorite treat in here is this Northland refrigeration unit. This one is set up strictly for wine storage, but you can also put cigars in the humidor. Let's go through here. And if this was to be an in-law suite, you'd have to have a nice living room, and Carolyn has set it up beautifully. Kind of country French a little bit, right?
Thank you, Bob. Yes, we furnished it being mindful of the lifespan concept and treated it as an apartment in the house that could be used as such.
Right. So the furniture is all very comfy. I like the rug.
Thank you. The rug is from Design Materials. They've provided us with the rugs throughout the house.
What's it made of?
Sisal.
Oh, okay. And then you've got some very interesting paintings that really remind me of the Low Country.
Thank you. Those are provided by Carolina Fine Prints and Fine
the artist?
Paintings. Stephen Chesley.
Okay, and he's a local artist?
Yes, yes.
Very pretty. And then in here we have one bedroom that again is set up very, very simply. I think that's the hallmark of much of what you've done here.
Yes.
Is the simplicity, but this yellow is perfect.
Thank you.
Very often a yellow will have too much green in it or will be too bright or too dark. This is just a nice cheery color.
It's beautiful.
And the beds again are from, they're not antique, right?
No, they're from Thomasville.
They're from Thomasville. Lots of Thomasville furniture in here. Carolyn, you have done a wonderful job. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay. Now let's meet Andres Dueñi, architect and town planner.
Hi,
How
Bob.
are you?
How are you?
And you, of course, have a bigger concept to talk about here than just the house, but how
Yeah.
do you think the house turned out?
It's beautiful. First time I've seen it.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting things, actually slightly different from the model, because here in Ion we have a rear alley.
Right.
So the house was built with a garage in the rear.
In the back, right.
But most American houses, of course, have front-loaded garages, and this is what this wing is about
Right.
in this model.
Yeah, but the theory is that you start off with just this part of the house,
Yeah.
right?
This is the starter house, because of course this is a lifespan house to serve
Exactly.
you throughout. This is the starter cottage.
At the beginning of your life as an adult, you just need a small house.
Right. A young person or a couple can actually begin with this. As they get children and they need bedrooms and living rooms and so forth, they can actually build the principal portion of the house. This is now a 3-bedroom house, perhaps with a 4th in here. As you get older and the kids leave, you know, they sometimes don't come back after college, and you have an excess of house that's called the empty nester condition. You can build a luxurious master bedroom in the 1st floor.
But then you've got an enormous house.
Too much house. At this point, most people have to sell their houses, leave their communities, great discomfort, emotional, you know, upset. But in this case, by closing 2 doors here and here, the original kernel house, together with the 3 bedrooms on top, become a separate unit that is available for the caregiver if you need somebody, or you can rent it to the next. You can rent it, or you can give it to the next generation of the family.
Your married kids can start out life living with you if that works
Yes,
out.
in perfect comfort, and they have their kids can have this yard, and the adults can have this yard.
Yeah,
the
no,
older
I think
generation.
it's an exciting concept, and again, more and more families should consider this kind of growth for the house.
Yep.
Andres, thanks for coming on the
Sure.
show.
Welcome.
Boy, look at this right on the corner of the deck. The perfect spot for iced tea and a magazine. Running short on time, so I wanted to talk for just a minute with Betsy and Kevin. You guys have done an amazing job, especially when you think about the short time period here. I said earlier there was a little over 7 months. That's right.
That's right. It was
Yeah.
a little over 7 months, and it's just tremendous that Kevin has finished this house so quickly. Given the size of the house and the nature of the project,
And the level of detailing.
the level of detailing.
So you got to run out and do it all over again here at Ion.
A few more times.
Best wishes. We're running out of time. Come home again next week. We're going to be in Providence, Rhode Island, in the beautiful historic neighborhood of Elmwood, where we're going to be doing about a dozen different projects. Till then, I'm Bob Vila. It's great to have you home again. For lots of information and resources for your home improvement project, check out my website at bobvila.com.